So how can a man in a desert who wasn't an astronomer, didn't have telescopes, wasn't one of the Greeks or philosophers or any of that, have known that if it wasn't given to him by a creator?
To go further back in causality,
Sure.
in pretty much anything, in a puppet gets controlled by a puppeteer.
Yes.
Your
And
body
the puppeteer controls himself.
Your body gets controlled by your brain.
But that's a part of you.
Where does your brain develop the mobility and ability? Doesn't that come from God?
Sure.
So you're willing to go.
But again,
well,
hold on, because see, we're switching the method, right?
But
because
my question is why?
I'll explain it.
Okay.
The puppet example is to show that the strings on the puppet, right, which show you that there's a puppeteer, do not manage the puppeteer. The puppeteer, his creation was different, right? He was created by God, right? Now God, the creator, has no creator. He is the creator. How do we know that? He told us. Where did he tell us? In his book, right?
Okay.
Let me show you something. Can you give me my Quran? Where's Yusuf? Where's the green bag he had? No. Yeah. Can you just hand me my Quran for me? So let me explain that to you.
Let me check something. I gotta check that parking time.
No problem.
All right. I got like 20 more minutes.
All right. We'll be wrapped up before that. So this is an English translation of the Quran, right? This was revealed to a man named Muhammad. You heard of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, right? He was somebody who was illiterate. He couldn't read or write. He was not a poet. He was not a philosopher. He was not an author, right? The book was revealed to him in a desert in Saudi Arabia, current day Saudi. At that time, there was no country called Saudi Arabia, right? In a city called Mecca, and then parts of it in a city called Medina, right? Now, in that book, it tells us things that a man of his time could not have possibly known, right? Okay. For example, this is chapter 21, verse 33. It says that he is the one who created the day and the night, the sun and the moon, each traveling in an orbit, right? Now, the moon having an orbit, that's one thing, but the sun having an orbit, even till very recently, scientists denied that. But very recently, looking at the different telescopes and looking all the cosmic history of the universe, they said, you know, the sun does have an orbit, even though it's extremely slow and impossible to see with the human eye. So how can a man in a desert who wasn't an astronomer, didn't have telescopes, wasn't one of the Greeks or philosophers or any of that, have known that if it wasn't given to him by a creator?
I don't know, but
right?
What does it prove though?
It proves that this book wasn't written by him, right? It had knowledge, for example.
That it wasn't inspired by him.
Right,
he wrote it,
of course. Or he didn't write it, he couldn't read or write, but it was revealed to him, and the people around him scribed it, they wrote it down. Right. But if you look in, it's the chapter 23, verse 12, it's called the mu'minun, the believers, and then he placed human as a sperm drop in a secure place, and then we developed the drop into a clinging clot of blood, and that developed a clot into a lump of flesh, and then developed that lump of flesh into bones, and then clothed the bones with flesh, and then we brought it into being a new creation. Now this development of the embryo could not have been known by him. Impossible, right? I mean, looking at just sperm by itself, yes. Or aborted fetus, yes. But the method of development, how it becomes into a clingy leech, you know, which is the embryo, and then how the embryo first develops bones, and then the flesh, the muscles develop around the bone, all of that could not have been known by him. He didn't have ultrasound. He couldn't be, you know, out there with an X-ray machine. Okay. So when you look at the orbiting, when you look at this, and then we keep going, in the 25th chapter, 53rd verse, and he is the one who merges the two bodies of water, one fresh and palatable, the other salty and bitter, placing between them a barrier they cannot cross. Now salt water and seawater, when you look out in the seas and oceans or rivers and oceans, they meet, but they don't mix. Now the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had never been to a place with salt water. So he would have never been able to observe that himself. He was unlettered, he couldn't read or write, right? So each one of these continue. Now, I'll give you a couple more. This is in the 40th verse.
Would that convince you there's modern scientific facts in that book, and which we just discovered recently?
I can concede to that.
right?
It would convince you, right?
Of that.
Now, of course,
of
maybe
that
you may not
premise,
know a lot
sure.
about embryology, but if we can show you that that matches up with modern science, isn't that proof enough that this is from God?
That is from God, no, because you could probably you could say the same thing about the Bible. You could say the same
You
thing
cannot.
about,
No, you cannot, because I have a Bible with me. Can you hand me the Bible? Here's the Bible. I don't find any such thing in the Bible. You can show me one.
I've
right?
never really read it.
Oh, exactly,
I
right?
guess
So you couldn't say the same thing about the Bible.
Well,
in
sure,
fact, if you look at in Genesis, the creation, the story of creation, it even contradicts itself whether vegetation was first or man was first. I have it marked, right?
Well, do you think there are any contradictions in the Quran?
None.
None
Zero.
whatsoever.
None.
Okay.
I have challenged this for almost 20 years on video out there. If somebody can show me one actual contradiction, I'll leave Islam. Until today, not a single one.
One foundation is his YouTube page, watches debates.
Yeah. One Message Foundation. So, back to us, right? If we look at this here in the 41st chapter, in the 11th verse, then he turned towards the heaven while it was smoke-like, saying to it and to the earth, submit willingly or unwillingly. Understanding that the celestial bodies were originally a gas, a smoky substance, is something that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, could not imagine, right? Today scientists are saying yes, looking into telescopes and looking into the far reaches of the universe and looking at the development of planets and so on. But he couldn't have known that, right? I'll give you one last one. I know you gotta go. 78:6. And then he made mountains as pegs, right? You know, mountains go into the earth as they go up, like a peg. And the people before you could dig down, there's no way they would have known that. When you look at a mountain, it just looks like it's coming up, right? One of these could have been guesses, but continuously to guess and get it right, things that could not have been known, you would agree, is miraculous.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as saying that, but
Why not?
well, so let me get your point. So you view the Quran as being a perfect book?
Perfect,
Okay,
100%.
it's a perfect book.
La rayba fihi, there is no doubt in it.
Okay, so your claim is Quran is a perfect book with no inconsistencies,
No
errors,
contradictions, no errors, no
And-
inconsistencies.
and so the reason we ought to believe that a creator, the creator, that God does not require another form of creator or creation.
Because the Quran tells us
because the
that.
Quran tells
Yes.
that, which is a perfect book.
Exactly.
I can't really make any claims against that because I never read the Quran.
Then let's read one. Let me get you one. Can you